welcome you to Austin, Texas for the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational. It's Austin FC2, the defending MLS Next Pro Cup champion, taking on the defending champion from Liga Expansión in Mexico, Cancun FC. Hi everybody, alongside former MLS goalkeeper Jeff Ottinella, I'm Justin Galanti. Glad to be with you. And Jeff, obviously a historic day for MLS Next Pro. First ever competition against a side from Mexico. Tons of excitement around this game.
There is a lot of excitement, and anytime that you put a trophy on the line, you know that it just means a little bit more. And with this Austin 2 lineup tonight, keep an eye on number 19, the forward Fautry. He has 3 goals on the season, and also number 10, Farkalon up top. He has 3 goals as well as 3 assists. But for me, I'm also going to be paying close attention to number 6, Ramirez in the middle. He's the captain, and look for him to be really the plug in that midfield to connect between the back line and the forwards, but also really canceling out any of those counter-attacking opportunities that Cancun's able to have tonight.
This is Brett Utley's second season as the head coach for Austin FC2. Luis Arce is the head coach for Cancun FC. He is about to enter his second season leading Cancun. It's a little bit of an older team than what Austin FC2 puts on the pitch, but just like Austin, they are a champion and expect to play well tonight.
And they're at a different point in their season, which will make it for a little bit more interesting. They haven't had the run of play as much, so a little bit mixed up with the lineup. Number 23, Galindo. He was the game-winning goal scorer in that penalty shootout that helped them win the championship. He has ties to the MLS. His father was an assistant coach with San Jose. He also played for the national team. He's a player to keep an eye on. But for me, I'm going to be keeping my eye on number 10, Kanga. He's the captain of this team, and I'm really looking for him to be the plug of this midfield to start those attacks, whether it's getting the ball on his feet, able to break lines on the dribble, or putting those balls in behind to those forwards. Keep an eye on those 2 players because they should play important roles tonight in this big game.
You know, it's interesting, Paul Uscanga, who you just mentioned, is 33 years old. Compare him to, let's say, Steve Louis-Jean, who is starting tonight for Austin FC2. He's 19, so there's a 14-year age difference. And, you know, when you take the pitch, age doesn't matter. As you see the teams getting ready to get started, the 2 captains with our 4 officials tonight. William Hale is our head referee. The assistants are Joseph Jeffers and Abelardo Flores Dominguez. And then the 4th official is Caitlin Trowbridge. Overall, though, a really special event coming up here tonight. And you think about, you know, the partnership potentially that could come from this with Liga Expansión in Mexico, MLS Next Pro. Obviously, MLS sides play against Liga MX sides in Leagues Cup, which is going on right now. And this is kind of the opportunity for these 2 leagues to get to play against one another.
Well, it's really been a focus as well for the 2 countries. If you look at the MLS, we all know about the Leagues Cup we have going on, but also in the NWSL as well. They've started a summer tournament with the Mexican League, so this is just another type of expansion. And we talked about it in the open. Anytime that you put a trophy, anytime that you put something on the line, both of these clubs are trying to represent their league. So that's what makes this game so exciting tonight. And we spoke a little bit about the age differences that we will see, and that's something that Austin's going to have to adjust to. In MLS Next Pro, they're used to playing teams that were younger, more their age, but also the physical play that it takes to play against a player who is in his 30s. It's a different look than what you're playing against 19-year-olds, what you're used to. So something to keep an eye on. Expect them to be able to move the ball quick, try to get the ball moving, and don't let physical play be what dictates this game.
So Austin, you see there in the home all-black kits, and it's the road white for Cancun here. In the Liga de Expansión, the regular season is split in half. There's a first-half champion, a second-half champion. Cancun won the first half. The 2 champs meet in a final series. They played against Atlante FC in that final, tied the first leg, tied the second leg, and won in PKs, as you mentioned. Austin had something of a Cinderella run to win MLS Next Pro Cup last season. They were the 4 seed in the Western Conference. 3 straight road clean sheets to get to the final. 1 in Columbus, 3-1 in the final. First team in Next Pro or MLS history to win 4 road matches on their way to a title.
Well, it just speaks to the resilience of this group, so it should be something on display tonight. Both teams know what it takes to win a championship game, and that's what we have tonight, so it should be a good one.
Just over 80 degrees as we start tonight, which, as you and I were joking off air prior to the match, is pretty lucky for Texas in the summer.
Yeah, it really could have gone either way, but it's a beautiful night for this game. It's a beautiful venue as well. And we see here early on, Cancun showing this pressure high up the field. Something that Austin needs to be aware of. The urgency is going to be extremely high to start this game, so just making sure that you're smart with the ball around the back, not making any type of careless turnovers to give Cancun a little bit of force as they continue to press this high up the field.
Steve Louis-Jean retreats and finds Sheikh Toure here. You mentioned this at the start of the show, but it is interesting the point in the season that both these sides come into this match in, right? Austin is just past the midway point in its MLS Next Pro season. They've played 17 matches already this year, whereas Cancun's regular season is going to be starting on August the 3rd, so next week. So this is more of a tune-up type of situation, not in terms of importance, but in terms of where you're at for chemistry of the team, fitness of the team, whatever it might be, whereas Austin, you would think, is a little more primed and ready to go.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about the rhythm of playing meaningful 90 minutes. It takes time to build yourselves into a season. So for Cancun, this is one of the more of like a preseason finale for them. Of course, there's a lot on the line, but they haven't been able to get those 90-minute reps that Austin's been able to have. So I'd expect to see Austin being a little bit more rhythm and really just a little bit more game fit than this Cancun team.
This is Zahid Munoz on the ball. The interesting sort of factor with the roster of available players tonight for Cancun, as Austin looks to move forward for the first time in this match. Fodry and a pass a little bit behind Ruben Bonachera now. But Cancun, right, has its roster for the 24-25 season, so some players have moved on from the championship team, some players are new, so this is the first kind of real match experience as a member of Cancun FC for a number of guys, not only in the starting 11, but also being potentially used as substitutes tonight.
And there's that feeling out process, right? You need to get used to players on your team. Like I said, Austin, they're in a little bit more rhythm. They're used to the habits of the players on the field and that understanding of knowing where the player is going to be, where you can play the ball. And for Cancun, they're going to have to figure it out on the fly a little bit. You talked about it, new players coming into the match. You're not always sure where the player is going to make the run, where you're able to connect those passes. So just something to keep an eye on as this game continues to go, just the type of rhythm that both of these teams are in.
Bonachera taking the throw for Austin. This is really the usual starting 11 for Brett Utley. Of the 11 starters, 9 of them have started at least 10 times this season. The only 2 that haven't are Fodry, who you mentioned earlier, who plays quite a bit with the Austin first team, and Aaron Cervantes, who's in goal tonight, who's only started 3 regular season matches. Marcus Alstrup has started for the most part for Austin FC2 this season, as we have our first foul of the match here going against Austin and Bonachera.
Yeah, just a little bit late on the challenge there, but you could tell that the pressure is high from both teams right now. Both teams are flying around the ball. That's to be expected, especially to start off a game like this with this type of significance. High pressure, but again, with this type of high pressure, you need to be very careful in terms of your possession, making sure that you're able to connect passes, not feeding into those presses, not really allowing those counter-attacking opportunities.
Jonathan Hernandez with the foul there. Hernandez, one of the new players to Cancun FC, led by Luis Arce, who was coaching in Bolivia prior to taking the reins for Cancun and led them to the championship in his first season, winning the Campeón de Campeones against Atlante. Toure on the move forward, trying to play one out wide for Jimmy Farkerlin, who has the 3 goals this season. Farkerlin sends a cross through. It's dangerous, but well handled by Jonathan Hernandez. It will be a corner coming, though, for Austin.
And that all really starts with a great switch of the ball from Burton. He's able to find that space in the midfield, switch the point of attack out of that Cancun pressure, who's able to get the ball wide and then puts a dangerous cross into the mix. But anytime a team like Cancun is flying numbers towards the ball, trying to find the middle of the field and switching that point of attack is going to be so key. It's going to give you those open looks and those open opportunities. It's a great job there by Burton, dropping into that space and getting able to switch that ball in 1-2 touches.
So let's see what Austin can do with the first corner of the night. It is Toure. In swinging ball, it's in a good spot. Well handled though by Cancun. Not quite cleared definitively, but Austin will retreat with Cervantes here. Played one match last season in MLS Next Pro, did Cervantes in the LA Galaxy organization, then known as LA Galaxy 2, now known as Ventura County. Signed with Austin 2 in January of this past year. So far this season in Next Pro, Austin is in the top 10 in the league in fewest goals conceded, which is not surprising based on what we told you earlier, that they gave up 1 goal in the entire run through the playoffs last season. A remarkable run for Brett Utley's group, culminating in that win in Columbus in Crew 2's effort to win back-to-back championships in the first 2 years of MLS Next Pro. They say defense travels, right?
Defense wins championships, right? Defense and good goalkeeping. Not that I'm biased or anything.
As a guy who's a former MLS goalkeeper, as you might guess.
You're like screaming.
Official says play on, so Austin moved forward with it. This one will not be a play on. Clear foul there against Jorge Diaz-Price. He gave the push to Micah Burton, who you mentioned earlier, really promising young player. Just 18 years old, played for the U.S. U17 national team at the 2023 CONCACAF Championships and U17 World Cup. He's a homegrown player for Austin, just signed that homegrown contract back in January. And now another foul as Cancun seems to be a little bit more physical at the start of this match.
Yeah, not surprising, but I do think that Austin's doing a good job. They're putting the ball down and they're trying to play quick, so not giving Cancun the chance to settle. And then when they do get settled, you see there Burton being able to use his body, draw that foul, get this free kick in a dangerous spot. But you know that Cancun's going to be more physical. They're a little bit bigger, they're a little bit older, and like I said, they're not in the same type of game shape that Austin's in, so you expect them to be more physical, but a good way to avoid that is by playing quick, trying to get those 1-2 touches around the defender. And when you have these fouls and dangerous opportunities, trying to make the most of these chances.
Torres sends this one in, heading on, and Burton puts it in! What a start for Austin!
Well, we just talked about it, making the most of these opportunities of these early set pieces that they're getting in dangerous chances. And this is straight off the training pitch. You see Burton making that run to the far post. It's great service into Fadri, who heads it across the box. Picture perfect, right off the training pitch. Put this ball across the goal. You saw Burton making that run, ends it with that diving header. But just like we talked about, get off to a bright start if you're this Austin team. You're in more rhythm, you're in more form. Great job taking advantage of that set piece, and Burton is off to a very bright start in this game. He's been all over the place. He's rewarded with a goal early in these first 8 minutes, but you have to give Fadri a lot of credit. Just a pinpoint accuracy on that header across the box. And you know that's one that they're going to watch back on the replay. They're going to watch it on tape and say, we worked on this all week long. Way to execute.
Well, Burton in 17 regular season matches this season has a pair of assists but no goals, and he gets his first goal of 2024 there. Fadri, who you mentioned, 7 matches with Austin FC 2, 3 goals, no assists, and he gets an assist there. Good start for Austin here tonight.
Well, I love the design of that play as well. You throw so many numbers to the far post. You draw all the Cancun back line to that far post. And if you're able to win that initial header with the runner of Burton going towards that far post, then again off that header, then it's a good recipe for success.
So let's see how Cancun responds. Just 9 minutes gone here in the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational. This is the 3rd Next Pro Invitational. The last 2 years, teams from both the Bundesliga and Premier League 2 have come to the States to play against MLS Next Pro sides. And then also last summer when Wrexham was doing its U.S. Summer Tour, they played against LA Galaxy 2 and Philadelphia Union 2, as you might guess, with Ryan Reynolds out in LA and Rob McElhenney in Philly. So more international competition, but I think the real hope with this particular match and what could come in the future is a real partnership between Liga Expansión and MLS Next Pro that could be developed on a year-in, year-out basis.
Well, that's what you nailed it, just developing these relationships with the Mexican leagues as well, but also creating these types of tournaments and these types of events in the summer where there is a little bit of a lull in that time in the schedule. just creating different tournaments so these players get different experiences, but also, you know, you get to face different competition, different styles of play. So hopefully it's a relationship that just continues to grow, and it's a good thing for both leagues.
Right now, Austin is flying around and playing well on their home pitch. Ahead 1-0 on the goal just a few moments ago from Burton. Here comes Cancun back the other way, though, looking to generate something. It was Diaz-Price out wide. Cross comes in. Bonachera deals with it, but does concede a corner. First of the night coming for Cancun.
Yeah, it's a good run there from Price out of the midfield, able to get around the defender, create space, trying to break those lines on the dribble. Really the first opportunity that we've seen Cancun have a little bit more of that possession or be a little bit more dangerous in the attack, and now we see if Cancun can make the most of their first set piece.
Jorge Diaz-Price, 25-year-old, scored 1 goal in 18 matches last season for Cancun. Price sends this one on and headed wide. And a goal kick up coming for Cervantes. You know, Jeff, it's interesting sort of analyzing how these rosters are put together. For the most part, on the Cancun side, they're a newer club in a newer league, but many of their players came from other clubs in the same league. It's mostly Mexican-born players that had already played in the league. With Austin FC 2, these guys could be from anywhere, right? Come up through the academy, college, other countries. It's a big melting pot that comes together with the rosters in MLS Next Pro, whereas Cancun has sort of done a really good job assembling the better players in the league they are in into a very cohesive unit that, again, won a championship last year.
Well, it sounds like two different types of philosophies, right? I think for Austin, they're trying to develop players for that first team, trying to move them on and develop the players the best that they can. But for Cancun, it's a team that's trying to win their league. That's the area of focus for them, and that's why they go out and sign the players that they do.
Axel Padilla sends this one in. It's headed away by Salvatore Mazzaferro. Comes out to Burton. He does well to get away from 2 defenders and draws a foul.
I know he scored the goal, but he's been really bright tonight. Of course, you score the goal, so you give him credit there, but checking back to his defense, being able to link up play, drawing these fouls, really started this game with the right energy, and it's been important for them because Burton's been able to gather that possession, draw the fouls, and regain and not let this Cancun pressure get the best of them.
Do you feel like one of the great things about these summer events, whether it's a tournament or just one match like this one, is it gets you a little bit out of the bubble of your league and gives you a look as a team of, you know, how do we look against other countries as Faudree moves in with it. CJ sends one in, a good stop made by Andrade, who's a little slow to get up. Nearly a 2-0 start for Austin.
That's great build-up play in the midfield. Faudree making that overlapping run, able to find that gap in behind. I think his last dribble took him a little bit too tight on the angle, which made it an easy save for the goalkeeper, but playing out of that high pressure that Cancun has right now, trying to play those one-touch passes, maybe 1-2 passes with the forward, linking up, finding those spaces in behind. It's great build-up play there from Austin.
Farkerland trying to run this down, kept in by Zahid Munoz, who just joined Cancun on July 12th, so a couple weeks ago. He was playing for FC Juarez in Mexico on loan from Chivas last season, and now he's on loan from Chivas with Cancun. But just back to the point a few moments ago, as you take another look at this opportunity for CJ Faudree that Andrade made the stop on, it sort of gets you a little something different in the run of a season, and you can see Austin's come out with a lot of juice tonight.
Well, it's just a little bit of a breath of fresh air as well, and then also when you're talking about it, gives players the opportunity to show what they're capable of, right? Sometimes you have players playing in these events that might not be playing as much in the regular season, and they want the opportunity to showcase themselves and prove that they can fit in. So these summer tournaments can go a long way for a lot of different players, whether it's having that opportunity to play, whether it's trying to find that rhythm that they're seeking for during the course of the regular season. And like I said, anytime you put a trophy on the line, anytime you put a championship title on a game, it's going to mean more to the players. So just having this type of environment in the middle of the season, it's a good break, but it's also a great opportunity for individuals on the field.
And there are 2 trophies tonight, one for the winner and one for the MVP.
There you go.
I think we would say our 14-minute, 43-second MVP is Micah Burton so far.
It is still a little early, though.
Yeah.
We'll see how the rest of this one plays out.
We have free kick coming here for Cancun. It'll be Price again. Bounding ball comes into the area, and it'll be a goal kick for Cervantes. Fans, this portion of tonight's match is sponsored by O'Reilly, official auto parts partner of Austin FC2. Justin Galanti, Jeff Otnell, our entire outstanding crew, glad to be bringing you the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational from Palmer Field at St. David's Performance Center in Austin. Place that is really a top-notch facility around Major League Soccer and around the world. Uscanga laid this back for Axel Padilla. Padilla, 2 seasons ago, was playing for Atlante FC in Mexico, the team that Cancun beat in the Campeón de Campeones. Cancun last regular season was in the top 4 in Liga de Expansión in both goals scored and goals conceded. 47 scored in 28 matches and 31 conceded in that span. So very good on both ends of the pitch.
Defensively, if this one goes on for Austin, it seems like they're a little bit more comfortable dropping into this block. It's a little bit of a high block when you're talking about their defensive line, but doing a good job of winning this ball and then trying to turn it over quickly and play these quick outlet balls when Cancun is stretched. You see again, Burton, he's just been a pest tonight for this Cancun defense. He's been everywhere drawing these fouls, and again, it's another set piece in a dangerous spot that he's been able to draw.
The yellow shown to Junior Morera, the 21-year-old who's in his 3rd year with Cancun.
You see here, Austin was in that good defensive block. They were able to squeeze Cancun to this one side, turn this ball over, and every time that they're able to turn this ball over, they're looking for that quick outlet ball to the middle of the field, whether that creates the 1-2 opportunity that we saw on this left side with Fodry that had him in on goal, or earlier in the game we saw that ball get switched to point of attack where it opened up the other side. Cancun throwing high numbers, but Austin doing a good job adjusting in what they're trying to do offensively and playing out of it.
Now a free kick from a spot not dissimilar to the kick that set up the goal about 9 minutes ago. Torre will play this one outside as a couple bodies went down. This one now sent in towards Bonachera, but handled by Andrade. Right now Cancun trying to deal with, frankly, just not having much of the ball. Here's a takeaway though, and maybe an opportunity. Shots are 2-2 in the early going of this match. Sent in, nice back heel, skilled effort by Price, but nothing came of it.
Yeah, Ramirez did a good job defensively on that counterattack, making sure that that long ball from the goalkeeper didn't beat him over top. But in those situations, when you're 1v1 with your back towards the field of play, and your only option is the goalkeeper, but they're pressing high, maybe just play the ball out of bounds there. Live to see another day, so you don't turn the ball over in that dangerous spot. They didn't pay for it, but you have to be careful in those situations.
This is Edgardo Marin, and now Galindo. I mentioned earlier his dad, a longtime assistant for San Jose Earthquakes in Major League Soccer, and a former Mexican national. Foul here against Cancun.
Again, I know Austin's super confident on the ball. They want to play, they want to get the ball in the back, play that ball to the goalkeeper to alleviate that pressure. But the way that Cancun is pressing this high, you just have to be very careful in that possession. You don't want to turn the ball over when they're throwing numbers that high. You could tell when Austin wins it, there's an area of focus to get the ball forward and get the ball to the middle of the field. But just making sure you're careful dribbling the ball, passing the ball around the back like this as well, because they are throwing their numbers so high.
Mentioned Austin in the middle of its MLS Next Pro campaign after a bit of a slow start to the season. Brett Utley's team has rounded into form over the last couple months or so. They've earned at least a point in 6 of their last 7 matches. And tonight certainly in good form early. Last played on July 18th at Minnesota. As this is handled again by Andrade. That was a 2-2 tie, and then they lost the kicks from the penalty mark shootout 3-2, so Minnesota earned the extra point in the standings in that match, but once again getting a result and trying to get back to the form that led them to the championship a season ago. This is Steve Louis-Jean for Torre. He's playing in the Netherlands before joining Austin last season. Has now played in 43 career matches over 2 years for Austin FC2. Price maneuvering through the middle of the pitch.
And he's really been the bright spot for this Cancun offense early on. He's dropping in, receiving the ball, just trying to find those spaces in between the line to get through this Austin block.
Sort of an interesting way that Cancun got to the Campeón de Campeones last season. As we said, the regular season is split in two in Liga Expansión. There's the Apertura season, and then the second part of the year is the Clausura season. Cancun did finish first in the regular season of the Apertura portion of the schedule. They went 9-4 and had one tie. 9 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie, 28 points, which was first in the league. With a foul back behind the play here against Austin. But in the quarterfinals, they actually lost a match and won a match against Venados, and they were tied on aggregate. As we take another look at this foul.
Yeah, just a little late here on the challenge. Ends up getting his foot after making contact with the ball. Just a little bit late. And the way that Cancun likes to play, they like to get the ball moving quick. So just always making sure that you're keeping the attackers back turned to you as well. And also being careful where you're giving up these set pieces. Wouldn't be surprised here if Cancun eventually starts playing these balls short every single time. It seems like Austin sends one player out. Cancun put another player on the ball, but so far they've been happy trying to play these direct services in with Price.
Cleared away this time by Irvin Torres for Austin. Fans, this portion of tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Good Pop, official frozen treat of Austin FC2. So the tiebreaker, if the aggregate is tied in Liga Expansión, is just the higher seed advances. Fodry trying to run this one down, and it does stay in play. Fodry trying to get back to it and wins a throw. Cancun advanced through the quarterfinals and the semis based on the tiebreaker of being the higher seed, and then beat Atlante in the finals to get to that Campeón de Campeones, which they won in PKs against the same side.
Hey, a win's a win, right? I do like what I'm seeing here from Austin, playing out of this pressure, and they found some success here on this left side. 1-2 touches, trying to get Fodry over the top, finding those runs into that space, because the way that Cancun is pressing, they are leaving that gap in behind. So if you're able to get those quick touches in, ooh, see what we say here. It looks like the ref's calling outside the box, but a foul in a really dangerous area.
Certainly was. Irvin Torres was the one who was taken down to the pitch by Jonathan Hernandez, and apparently it was just a yard outside. Maybe not even.
But again, this comes off a quick play from Austin. Torres doing a good job creating from himself there, but just playing the ball quick. 1-2 touches. Cancun's flying numbers. Play the ball and make a run. That's where you're going to find those spaces. That's where Austin's had success. It's a good individual effort there from Torres drawing this foul, but that just comes off a quick passing. Anytime a team's throwing numbers, throwing pressing like that, 1-2 touches, make a run in behind. They've had a lot of success off of that.
Another dangerous opportunity for Austin FC2. That's right into the wall. It will be a corner. It looked like an attempt on goal. That was from Alonso Ramirez from a bit of a tight angle there.
Yeah, you can't fault Ramirez. As we're watching this here as well, I thought that near post was very open from the goalkeeper. It looked like the goalkeeper was playing the cross more than he was a shot. If that ball gets over the wall, I think it finds the back of the net. So you can't fault Ramirez there, but a good job by the Cancun wall doing the best that they can to block the shot.
So it'll be Torre again as we cross the 25-minute mark. Torre's service set up the 1 goal tonight. That was back in the 8th minute from Micah Burton. In swinging ball, and it's knocked down and handled by Andrade.
That's a great outlet ball from the goalkeeper.
A couple times we've seen them try and get over the top of the Austin defense.
Yeah, he wants to play quick. Every time he's gotten the ball, it's been a quick outlet ball, trying to get the ball in over the top. But a good job recovering defense there from Austin, being aware of that long ball. Something to be mindful of as this game goes on. If the goalkeeper has it, you know that they want to play direct and they want to play quick. So, especially as it goes on, don't be surprised if they leave a couple more numbers back there, just to make sure that they have the numbers to deal with that quick counterattack.
So far this season, Austin FC2's leading goal scorer is Sebastian Pino, who's not with the group tonight. Fodry and Farkerlin each have 3 goals, tied for second on the team. This is played back into Cervantes, and the Cancun players were asking for a whistle, and they get it.
Yeah, well, that's just a mistake there from the goalkeeper as well. Cervantes, that comes off of a back pass. He has to play that ball out with his feet. Creates a dangerous opportunity. It's always interesting watching these opportunities because you're not used to playing these, but you have 3 or 4 defenders there from Austin. It's an easy pass back. Cervantes opts to pick it up, but that was a pass back. Should have controlled it with his feet, taking his time. There was no pressure on the ball. Pretty clearly a back pass though, so not much of an argument from Austin. Maybe just a lapse in judgment there from the goalkeeper.
That's kind of the pressure we've seen all night from Cancun, maybe having an effect.
Yeah, I've had these a couple times in my career. I always think that the best strategy is line up the wall and let the goalkeeper make the run. Just let the goalkeeper be in front of the wall, do the best he can to block it because it is so tight. And he needs to shake off. He needs to shake off. You can tell he's still talking to the referee. He needs to shake off the mistake right there. Get himself focused on the next play. It was a back pass, so it is the right call from the ref, but always interesting when you deal with a situation like this because it's something you're not really used to seeing.
I would assume he was the one who was booked there by William Hale.
Looks like the far post here. If you're Austin, I would drop 1 more player. I'd have everybody on the line. You don't want to give any openings.
Marine is the left-footed option, and Price is the right-footed choice. Well, this is certainly not something you see every day, but
and there should be an indirect free kick, so somebody will have to touch it before the shot happens.
I would sort of assume if you just try and blast it through, you would guess someone is going to touch it, and if it gets through, it gets through.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Austin does here, whether they leave everybody on the line or if they make the run towards the ball.
Here we go.
There it is.
Quick touch, and it stops.
Oh, well done.
It was Cervantes. Well, that was pretty well executed on the Cancun side, but Cervantes was equal to it.
I think it might have been Ramirez off the line who ended up getting a touch of this.
I think they both did.
Yeah, tough to tell. Hey, it takes a total group effort when you have that many people on the wall, but Cervantes, the goalkeeper, he needs to calm down a little bit. You can tell he's pretty animated after making that mistake.
Here's Alonso, slipped as he tried to send service through. And Austin able to take the ball here with Torres. So a big moment there in this match, potentially, if Austin ends up successful at the end of the night.
Good take there from the goalkeeper. Deciding to bring it to the ground, milk the clock a little bit, but now it's time for Austin to calm down a little bit. There's a nervy moment there, but they've had the better of play. They've been good in their possession. Just get back to what you were doing, moving that ball from side to side, taking advantage of the space that you have.
Fans, this portion of tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Sight, official partner of Austin FC2. And it looks like we'll have a hydration break as we get close to the half-hour mark at the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational. If you're just joining us, the goal tonight came early. It was in the 8th minute from Micah Burton. And that gave Austin the 1-0 advantage, which it has held ever since. Well, Jeff, you sort of assess a half hour of what we've seen tonight, and it seemed like perhaps it took Cancun a bit to feel its way into this match, but since, they've looked much more comfortable and been a little bit more on the front foot themselves than they were at the start of the night.
They're settling in a little bit, but I do think that Austin has had the better of play. They've been strong in possession, and they're dealing with the way that Cancun is throwing numbers forward. As we get another look at the goal here, I really do think Burton's been such a factor tonight for this game. He's been all over the field here as we see him scoring the goal, but this is a goal that's just straight off of the training pitch. The ball goes into the far post, and he redirects it straight across the box. All the eyes are on the ball, and Burton's able to slip in the back post there, get that diving header, get rewarded for the efforts. But back to your point, I do think that Cancun's settling in just a little bit. They like to throw numbers high to the ball. They haven't had too much luck in possession. I really think that their opportunities have come off of when Austin's either turned the ball over into a bad spot and they're able to start those counterattacks, or really just long balls over the top. So just something to be aware of for Austin, especially on the defensive half. Being a little bit more compact in your block, making sure that you're all on the same page. You don't want to get too stretched out. That's where Cancun's going to find success. Price has been doing a good job of dropping into that space, breaking lines with his passes or breaking lines with his dribbling. So just making sure that you're in a compact position and being able to deal with those balls that are getting played in over the top. But for me, this game so far, it comes down to Austin's possession and what they've been able to do with it. When they have success, it's 1-2 passes. It's getting around this Cancun press. It's playing those balls in behind when they find those openings. It's making runs off of the ball. And then when they get in trouble, it's bad passes to the middle that lead to those turnovers. So I really think that Austin's in control of how this game's going to be dictated right now, but it really just comes down to how clean and crisp they are in their possession.
You know, one thing that's really cool is you sit here and watch this event tonight. I remember a couple of years ago, prior to the first season of MLS Next Pro, which was 2022, one of the things they talked about, the league, was international competition, how important of a factor that was going to be going forward. There's been an MLS Next Pro Invitational now all 3 seasons, but this kind of event where it's champion versus champion is really exciting, and it's not something you get to see a lot.
Well, it's representing the league. It takes on a different identity. It's not team versus team, it's league versus league, and you have champion versus champion. So everybody's tuned into this night, cheering for their league, wanting to see their league have that success. So there's a lot more on a game like this. You're representing much more than just the chest that's on your back, just the badge that's on your chest. You're representing a lot of players throughout the entire course of the league. So just a lot riding on this game, and especially anytime you pin up 2 champions from leagues like the U.S. and from Mexico, you know there's going to be a little bit more on it.
Muñez trying to work his way through. A good build up here for Cancun, but a bit of a miss-hit ball there by Alonso, and that's easy for Cervantes.
Yeah, it's 2 crosses now from Cancun here in the last couple of minutes where just easily floated balls where Cervantes is easily going to get up and get there. He's a big boy, strong in the air, so just a little bit more driven balls from Cancun to have a little bit more success or give yourself a chance to get on the end of it.
Skanga played that one back, sent into the area. Rodriguez was offside. Rodriguez, such a dangerous player, had 15 goals last season to lead Cancun and led Liga de Expansión in the second portion of the regular season with 9 goals. He was the outright Golden Boot winner.
And he was offsides on that one, but just something to be aware of. That's 2 times now here in the last 5 minutes where he's been able to find that space in between the center backs and get on the back end of that ball that's in over the top. So just if you're Austin, just being a little bit more aware of where he is on the field, making sure that you have a body on him, not really giving him the opportunity to find that space so easily.
By the way, the Austin first team, if those of you might not have seen it, had a successful night in Leagues Cup last night, beating Pumas 3-2. So Austin FC2 hoping to make it a strong doubleheader this weekend against competition from Mexico.
That wasn't for the faint of heart either. PK
No.
save in the 95th minute.
Oh my goodness, playing a player down for the majority of that match.
Yeah, that one was not for the faint of heart. So if you went to that game last night and now you're coming to this game, you're definitely getting your money's worth.
Unbelievable crowd last night. I actually happened to be scrolling channels today, and the replay was on, so I watched some of it again. Here's Alonso, drops it off, Rodriguez just wide. What a chance for Jose Rodriguez.
We just talked about it. It's this ball in over the top that is now giving Austin all sorts of trouble. Not being able to deal with this ball. They're finding those gaps in between the center backs, and I really thought off of his foot that he had found the far post. If you get another look at it here, just direct play where these forwards are able to find in behind that space behind this Austin back line, and Rodriguez with an absolute brilliant strike, just barely curved out at the last second not to hit that far post and be in the back of the net and tie this thing up.
Back the other way, it's CJ Fodry. Sends one into the middle. It came all the way through, hardly touched, but it was at least redirected enough that it was away from Farkerlin. What's the counter defensively if you're Austin to that ball over the top that's really hurting them?
Well, just making sure that you're trying to keep the forwards in front of you, or if you are trying to run that offsides line, either stepping at the same time, making sure that you're on the same page. But there's different situations where it's been 2v2 with the center backs in the front two from this Cancun team. So just making sure that you're not stepping out of position and you have that good space so that you're not giving up so much space in behind that they're able to run onto, or at least just making sure that you get a little bit of a body on the forward just to slow them down a little bit, maybe throw them off their pace or throw them off the track of the run. But for me, it would just be making sure that you have the numbers a little bit better defensively so you're not stuck in these 2v2, 1v1 situations. Whether that's pulling one of your outside backs a little bit more inside, whether that's pulling one of your center mids back a little bit. However they want to figure out within the system, that's up to them. But at the same time, you can't be leaving your center backs in these 2v2 situations with the ball in over the top when you're talking about the space that there is between this back line and the goalkeeper.
Mazzaferro being pressured here, able to send it away from trouble. Salvatore Mazzaferro, a third-round pick in last year's MLS Super Draft by Austin out of South Florida. Including tonight, Mazzaferro has played in 49 matches over the last 2 seasons with Austin FC2 and started every single one.
Go Bulls. I'm only saying that because I went to USF as well.
He is a 3-time second-team All-AAC selection. Looks like that might have been off somebody's hand, and they say it was off the hand of Edgardo Marin from Cancun.
A little bit of gamesmanship there from Cancun. I was talking about it earlier in this one, how Austin was getting the ball off these set pieces and playing quickly. Cancun opts to throw the ball as high as they can in the air to make sure they have the opportunity to get back into their block a little bit more defensively. Just a little bit of gamesmanship there.
Antonio Gomez now connects with Fodry. Trying to get back to it, CJ Fodry. Outstanding effort here, and nearly won a corner. Instead, it'll be a goal kick for Christopher Andrade.
And that ball has been on. We've seen this the entire first half. When Fodry's in these 1v1 situations, he's able to get to this ball and over the top against Hernandez. So if you're Austin, keep playing this ball. Cancun not making any type of adjustment, not sending a center back that way, not giving any help to the outside back. So keep playing that ball and over the top. It's been successful so far. No reason to change it up.
Fodry has made not only 7 appearances that we told you about with Austin FC2 this year, but 11 first-team appearances as well. Has 1 assist to his credit. Played 1 collegiate season at San Diego State. He was the National Freshman of the Year. A first-round pick in 2022 by Austin, 13th overall. Diaz goes out wide with it to Alonso. Into the 40th minute in this 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational.
And we spoke about what type of adjustments Austin can make defensively so they're not leaving those center backs exposed. That was a much better job. You could tell their whole back line, they had 4 defenders around the ball. Really didn't give Cancun the option to play that ball in over the top, because when they pick their head up, they have the numbers back there to deal with it. So that was a good adjustment on the fly here so far from Austin.
Munoz, good ball for Padilla to run down, but a bit too far for him, and a throw for Austin. And again, a little more of that Sending one ball away, picking it up.
Both teams are going to have their moments of possession in this game. Of course, it's a long game, but we'd like to see Austin get back to a little bit more of they were having success playing that ball into the middle of the field and switching that point of attack.
Torre trying to control this and does well to send it down. Farkerlin controlling. Goes back out to Fadri now. Bonachera.
It's a great run and a great ball there from Ramirez.
Bonachera feeding it through. Farkerlin tripped up. No point. It's a play on and a goal kick as the shot went wide. And Farkerlin a bit slow to get up.
Oh, that's great build-up play there from Austin, and it starts with the outside back, Bonachero. He's able to make that overlapping run, gets the ball from Ramirez, attacks the space. I thought there might have been a foul there. Referee didn't see it. Looked like he got a lot of body, but he also got the ball as well. I'll trust that the referee got the call right on that one, but a great build-up play, and that's what we talked about, trying to get the ball down and playing quick. Cancun, they like to throw these numbers high. They like to press. Play the ball quick, make those overlapping runs, attack that space when you have it. Just great combination play leading to that opportunity.
Micah Burton's goal in the 8th minute, still the only one on the ledger so far. Ramirez retreats. Torre ahead. Louis Jean and Farkerlin. Louis Jean trying to get back to the ball, but walled off. Cancun trailing by a goal for the majority of this match so far. The Liga de Expansión champions will start their regular season next week, hoping to repeat. Austin in the middle of its MLS Next Pro regular season, couple points out of a playoff spot at the moment, but playing well over the last couple weeks, and Brett Utley's group seems poised for a second half run. Farrow plays it back to Cervantes. Bit of a mistake there by Cervantes. Fortunate that nothing came of it.
And those are tough situations to put your center midfielder in. You could tell that he has that pressure coming in his back. It's part of how Austin wants to play, though. That if they involve the goalkeeper, they want to drop that 6 down so that he's able to connect. But sometimes if you're a goalkeeper and you see that that 6 has that pressure on his back, playing that ball in over the top, trying to create a different look, maybe a little bit higher up the field is probably more the right option instead of playing that ball into that type of pressure. Because even if Ramirez is able to connect, he's not going to have much to do with the ball. So it doesn't always have to be that first pass. You can look over that line, try to break lines if you're a goalkeeper with that distribution.
Here's Galindo. Alonso sends it to the middle and handled there by Mazzaferro. Mazzaferro fouled by Diaz.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot this game so far. Cancun just a little bit after the play, making their presence known, trying to frustrate this Austin team. It'll be up to Austin to keep their composure in these moments because you don't want to let that frustration. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to frustrate you. They want to get you in their head a little bit. Just keep your composure. Understand that you're going to get a little bit of stuff after the play, but just keep your composure the best you can. Don't let it frustrate you. Just keep playing your game.
I was going to say, I feel like it's pretty impressive the way the Austin players actually have kept that composure for the most part to this point.
That's something that you need to expect, especially when you're playing in a game like this. You need to expect that there's going to be a little bit of stuff after the play. You need to expect that you're going to get hit, but you can't let it rattle you. You got to just stick to your plan. Cancun's trying to frustrate you. They want to get you out of your head a little bit and take advantage of those opportunities. So far in this first half, it has been a good job by Austin keeping that composure and just putting the ball down and continuing to play.
Alonso just tried to lay one into the area and hope somebody would be there for it. Only one was Cervantes.
We were talking about that.
Fadri.
That's right idea. Those wide channels are on. You're finding a lot of space, especially down this left side. Anytime that this outside back tracks the runner, there's space in behind. So I like the idea, just not able to connect there.
3 minutes of added time, as indicated by Caitlin Trowbridge. See if either side can generate anything before the break. A throw here for Cancun. Diaz for Padilla. Alonso gets through a couple. Skanga, the captain. All the way back to Maureen. Certainly felt like the first couple minutes tonight, Austin was the team with all the energy. But Cancun has perhaps been the better side the last 15 minutes or so. Austin remain ahead 1-0.
I think Austin had a pretty clear plan that they wanted to start the game high. They wanted to start the game with that press. They wanted to start the game with that energy. And then you could tell once they got that goal, they dropped a little bit more in their defensive block. So I think this is a little bit more by design. They're okay with Cancun having the ball in these not as dangerous areas. You see this is a difficult ball for the goalkeeper to deal with. Good decision there. In those situations, you don't want to risk it. But I do think this is a little bit of a byproduct of what Austin's game plan was coming into this one. They wanted to press high. They wanted to try to be on that front foot. But as the game has worn on, as your legs get a little bit more tired, you're not going to be able to throw numbers forward and press with that same type of energy. They got their goal, and now they've been a little bit more organized in their defensive block, getting numbers behind the ball.
So nearly 2 minutes of stoppage time gone. Axel Padilla takes a little contact from Torre, and the point is to the corner. So a chance here for Cancun, with perhaps only a minute to go until halftime.
And they've been very direct with their set pieces so far. See if they find something off the training pitch or something they've been working on and try to make the most of this last little bit of the first half.
Price sends it in. Cervantes well off his line, but he gets some help from his defenders. Now a foul against Burton, and it'll be one more free kick for Cancun, as Munoz was undercut.
Yeah, Cervantes ambitious to come off of his line there, but I just talked about it. Not surprised that we saw something more off of the training pitch from this Cancun team. They're trying to get these passes in so that these Austin defenders lose track of those runners. Cervantes lucky that his defender was there because the goal was wide open, but doing a good job defensively was Austin. Able to get on the end of it and clear it out. But again, a dangerous set piece. Let's see if they do this one direct or if they have something else in their little bag of tricks that they've worked on in training throughout the course of their preseason.
Munoz and Galindo. Now just Munoz. Put one more test on Cervantes before halftime. Munoz right into the wall. And there's the halftime whistle. So the goal in the 8th minute from Micah Burton has held up. And after the first half in the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational, Austin FC 2 lead Cancun FC 1-0. Coming up, we will take a look back at an epic week in Columbus. That's after this break.
Para pegarle, Maxi le pegó. Fuerza, al frente, servicio, el tiro. It's saved by Colin Connor. Con autoridad, el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área, le pega, golazo. Amor, 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 amor.
new sign. It's the new sign. It's the new sign.
Toda mi gente lo siente.
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 Toda mi gente caliente. Toda mi gente lo siente.
Toda mi gente suena. En la favela suena. El techo se me llena.
Toda mi gente lo siente. Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon la mano en la cabeza, sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
It's halftime here at the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational. Austin FC 2, 1-0 over Cancun FC at the break. It was an epic week in Columbus, Ohio, as some of the best stars in North America gathered for the annual MLS All-Star Week. Michelle Montaigne and Samara Perez were there, and they recapped goalie wars and the MLS Next All-Star match that featured several MLS Next Pro players.
What is going on here?
has been crowned. That's it. He's done it. Congratulations, Chitoro Odunze.
We're back with another special episode of The Report, this time the 2024 Goalie Wars edition. I'm Michelle Montaigne, joining you from the great state of Ohio. All the biggest stars in MLS descended right here in Columbus for 2024 All-Star Week festivities. Things got kicked off with the 2024 MLS All-Star Skills Challenge presented by AT&T. And of course, Goalie Wars took center stage. Samara Perez and I were there for all of the action, and we're here to relive the excitement with you.
In the first semifinal, Crown Legacy FC's Chituro Udunze defeated John Antoine with the lone goal of the match in overtime. The second semifinal got up to a hot start with the home kid Stas Lopkes going up against the #1 seed Michael Kolodi. The pair traded goals before the Texas keeper would go on to win it 4-2 and advance to the final round. In the championship round, Chituru edged out the #1 seed Kolodi in a competitive championship round that featured one goal from the Crown Legacy FC man who would go on to lift the belt. We caught up with the champ who shared his excitement following the intense match.
No, it's great. It's always great to win stuff. So I'm happy to bring this belt back to Charlotte again. So yeah, I'm telling you, you guys don't understand. 90 seconds of diving and shooting is hard. I promise you. It's like CrossFit, I swear.
His teammate and 2023 Goalie Wars champion affectionately felt he had something to do with his teammates' victory.
You know what? He did his thing on the field. I'm going to take a little bit of credit, but he did his thing. He didn't concede a goal the whole time, and yeah, it was a great win. And I'm just happy he's coming back to Charlotte again, back to back. To be honest, he didn't need much prep. Like, he was focused, he was locked in, he had a good time with it. He's a great guy, and yeah, he went out and did his thing.
And in the end, it was the WWE superstars who spoke about how exciting it was to be at Goalie Wars.
It's a great crack, a lot of fun. It's all about right. It's all about everybody coming out here, having the time of their lives, getting to see the next generation of MLS talent come up. And, you know, you see all the kids in here as well, probably the future generation of MLS players, hopefully. But this is great, so much fun. Me and Sonia had a chance earlier on to go and goal and try and take each other out, you know, in a friendly way.
Not easy at all. Very physical sport, very underrated. I know we're wrestlers and everything, but this is up there with the physicality level.
Come on!
So, for the second straight year, the belt remains in the Queen City. But here in Columbus, we're sticking with the Stars theme. As part of the MLS All-Star Week festivities, the 2024 MLS Next All-Star Game took place right here at historic Cruz Stadium, and our Samara Perez was here for all of the action. She recaps it with us here now.
The West jumped to an early lead in the first 15 minutes with back-to-back goals. The East was able to get one back at the 19th minute with New York City's Drew Baera scoring the equalizer to send both teams level into halftime. In the second half, a penalty would be called that would set up a Kevin Sullivan goal from the spot at the 77th minute, and just minutes later, he would dish out the assist to Cincinnati's Stefan Chirilla, who would seal the deal for the East. After the match, the MVP talked about his connection with Chirilla.
Yeah, so I played with him back in Philly a few years ago, so it was already there. The chemistry was already there. He hit it off the post to me. I drew the penalty and scored it, so I knew I had to get him back, and it was just a great celebration.
Stefan, you scored the game-winning goal. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
No, I'm super excited, especially that we won 4-2, good win. I'm just super excited, my first All-Star game, so I'm just really excited.
Hey guys, we're joined by Sean Zawatsky of Columbus Crew 2. Sean, we just witnessed the MLS Next All-Star Game. Tell us your impressions on the match and on these guys.
I mean, it's incredible to see the talent that these kids have at such a young age. It makes me think back to my days, and there's nowhere near this. So it's amazing to see, the incredible talent and the competitiveness amongst both teams.
For these guys, you know, they get to be a part of this game, and they're surrounded by the other best players within all of America and some Canada. So now they take their talents back to the next pro, and they keep on working, and then hopefully they get the opportunity.
Toda mi gente lo siente. 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 Toda mi gente caliente. Toda mi gente lo siente.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. So I like this. Cream on cream. The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco, como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Messi! La pelota para que
Really sweet.
Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. Al frente. Servicio. El tiro. It's saved by Colin Conan. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Externa para definir Chicho.
Welcome back to Palmer Field at St. David's Performance Center in Austin, Texas. Second half about to get started of the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational. Justin Galante and former MLS goalkeeper Jeff Ottanella, glad you're with us. And Jeff, that first half was really interesting because it was certainly Austin that came out on the front foot, got an early goal, and then Cancun seemed to impose itself a little bit more as the half went along.
And I really think a lot of that came from the midfield. Early in this one, Austin had their joy in the center of the field, whether that was Burton coming in and receiving the ball, Ramirez picking the ball in the midfield, switching the point of play as we get a look at the highlights here. This goal that we saw here from Burton comes off of Burton dropping into that space and drawing the free kick. And as we've said, Faudree has had his way of things tonight, whether the ball's in over the top, these crosses into the box. He plays a great ball across the goal into this goal, but Austin has really started the game dominant in the midfield. And as the game started to go on, I really felt like Cancun started to take a little bit more of that possession of the center of the park, as we saw here. Austin lucky to get away with this one. The back pass goes to the goalkeeper Cervantes. He opts to pick it up. Maybe just a little bit of a miscommunication there. Or maybe didn't think it was a direct pass back. But the referee calls it the right way. As we see again here, we take another look at it here. Clearly a back pass, but the goalkeeper opts to pick it up, which in this situation presents itself for a direct free kick. But fortunately for Austin, they did a good job dealing with its unique situation, but I think it was ultimately maybe the goalkeeper Cervantes or Ramirez who were able to keep that ball out of the net. A little bit of a group effort there, and this is where I really thought Cancun started to settle into this game with these balls in over the top. It took Austin a little bit of time to adjust to these balls that were starting to get played in over top. They were a little bit stretched out, leaving these center backs in these 2v2 situations. As we saw here, very fortunate that Rodriguez didn't put that into the far post. But as that first half started to go on a little bit as well, I did think Austin did a better job of getting those numbers behind the ball and taking advantage of these opportunities where they're able to play out and play quick and lead to opportunities like we saw here, which is in behind into the goal. And that was just something that started with the outside back, making an overlapping run, receiving that pass, and taking the ball to the middle of the field and really driving at that back line. So trying to control the midfield, I think, will be especially important for both of these sides, because once that midfield started to sway one way or the other, that was a team that had a little bit more of the dominant control. I'd like to see Burton earlier in the game. He was really dropping back, putting in that effort to receive the ball, trying to create from those opportunities, whether it was drawing fouls and then making his runs to the front lines. So I'd like to see him drop in a little bit more, whether it's him, whether it's Ramirez dictating the center of the park for this Austin side. I think that'll carry them a long way in this second half, and especially then if you're Cancun on the flip side, it's all been about Price. Price has been doing the same thing. He's coming from that forward line. He's dropping in. He's receiving the ball in the midfield. He's been able to break lines. Keeping an eye on where Price is, maybe if it's the center back, tracking him into the back to not make his life so easy if you're Austin. But then again, just being aware of those balls in over the top, making sure that you're always aware that Cancun can play those quick balls, especially if you're stuck in those 2v2 situations. But I thought it was a very evenly played first half. I wasn't really sure what to expect. You never really know what to expect in these types of championship games, how teams are both going to come out. It really started with a high energy. Both teams were pressing. Both teams were flying high. As the game started to settle in a little bit, Austin's dropped a little bit more to that defensive shell. But with the second half, I wouldn't be surprised to see high energy from both these teams again to the start, and then see how the game starts to settle in, who's able to control that midfield, because I really think that's going to dictate who ends up winning this game.
You know, I was remarking at the fact that Cancun was back out from halftime so much earlier than Austin, but you now see the reason why. They wanted to chew William Hale's ear off.
They want to let the referee know a little bit. But to be fair, I think the referee's called a good game so far.
Oh yeah.
There's been chippiness after the play from this Cancun side, which is appropriately getting called fouls, and you know, Austin's had some fouls as well in dangerous spots, but I do think the referee's gotten the calls right so far, so there shouldn't be much complaining there from Cancun. Maybe they're just catching up on what there is to do around around the city of Austin for after the game.
Quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's a fun town. But no, I think that especially we talked about it a lot in the open was there's a trophy on the line here, so I'm expecting high energy. I'm expecting subs to start coming in, get those fresh legs out, but I do think there's more goals in this game, so we'll be interested to see how both teams approach the second half as it continues to go on.
Well, I'll tell you what, that replay of the shot from Jose Rodriguez that just missed outside the far post, I think we've seen it 7 times, and every single time I still think it's going to go in.
Well, it looks good. It looks all the way into the back of the net until the very last second where it takes that last little bit of a turn. So, but ever since then, Austin's done a better job of adjusting defensively to those balls that are getting in over the top.
This one sent in towards Rodriguez, over top of him. Not handled all that well, though, by Austin, but a good recovery to only concede a throw by Ramirez there. or I should say kept in by Ramirez. If you're just joining us, this is the third edition of the MLS Next Pro Invitational. This is the first time it's been a champion versus campeon format, where it is Austin FC2, which won the MLS Next Pro Cup last season, and the reigning champion from Liga de Expansión, Cancun FC, here in this invitational. There will be a winning side that gets the trophy at the end of the night, and an MVP who will get his own trophy as well. A lot of contact there. It's a play on. Farkerlin with some space. Farkerlin still on the ball. Gets to his right foot, sends it to the middle, and he was able to leap over it, so it'll be a corner for Austin.
And that's a little bit more what we saw early in the first half from Austin, where they were having success. Burton comes all the way back from his forward position to create this opportunity, draws that center back with him, and then they're able to play these balls in out wide or a little bit more in behind. Get back to that formula. That's been working for them. Cancun, they like to throw numbers. Austin, they've dropped in a little bit more defensively and more of a block. Cancun's not doing that. They're throwing numbers. They're pressing a little bit higher. Continue to create those movements, whether you're receiving the ball or you're not receiving the ball. That way, those open runs in over the top or especially out wide.
Fadri, an in-swinging ball, well handled. Not quite cleared definitively yet, and now it is by Cancun. You know, got a great close-up shot of CJ Fadri there, who's still only 20 years old, as he plays this one across, and as they say, he's what they look like. I mean, built like a Adonis, and we saw him create a goal earlier for Burton.
I think if anybody ever told me I was built like an Adonis, I would clip that and just like save it, you know, save it on my phone.
He has off the bus talent, which is when he walks off the bus, you're worried that he's really good. This will be a throw coming for Cancun.
These are situations where you come out the other side. Good ball.
Fadri, and a good job to come off his line and play it there by Andrade, and handled it well as it came outside the area.
It's a good ball in behind, but those are the opportunities. Once you get the ball to the middle of the field, come out that other side as well. You have numbers on this side. Anytime you're playing a pressing team, switching that point of attack is so important.
There's Munoz, had a couple good moments in that first half and draws a foul here as Louis Jean got his boot tied up in between the two of Munoz, and it'll be a free kick for Cancun.
Getting another look at it here. Munoz doing a good job driving towards that back line. Able to get the contact, and this is the second or third set piece that we've seen now from Cancun, where it's been something a little bit more clever than just those direct balls in. So just need to stay aware of that if you're Austin. Whether it's screens, somebody setting a pick for somebody else, making those run around the sides. It's gotten a little bit more creative as this game gone on these set pieces.
There were no subs at halftime for either team, so see how quickly each head coach dips into his reserves in the second half. Brett Utley and Luis Arce in the chess match tonight. Alonso sends this one in, a big chance off the post, and the rebound put in. But the flag is up. It's no goal, offside, and Austin breathes a sigh of relief.
Austin getting away with one here. It's a looping cross into the box on that initial one where it really was a little bit uncontested. Nobody goes up for the header. The goalkeeper doesn't come off the line. First one hits off the bar, and then for the second one, the offside flag goes up. But as we get a look at it here, just over the top of the defender. I think they're saying the offsides might have come on that second one where you ultimately put the ball into the back of the net, but can't give a forward that easy of an opportunity to jump over your back as a defender, whether it's the goalkeeper coming out trying to collect that ball. That was a looping ball. That was up there for the win. Lucky to get away with that one was Austin. Needs to clean that up a little bit more defensively, be stronger in the box there.
Well, Jose Rodriguez scored 15 goals to lead Cancun last season. Thought he had one there. But instead, Austin still cling to an advantage on a goal from Micah Burton that came all the way back in the 8th minute of this match. There's Louis Jean. Farker Lynn showing his speed, gets to it. Farker Lynn. Farker Lynn still on it, finally poked away from him.
Oh, I think he had it if he wanted to take the shot. There's a little bit of space there. Opted to try to take one more touch, dribble a little bit more inside, but set himself nicely up with that touch. I think he had a shot on goal there if he wanted it.
Farker Lynn was a second-round pick, 31st overall by Austin in the most recent draft. Played 3 seasons at Houston Christian, and then played his grad year at Texas Rio Grande Valley. And obviously stays in the state of Texas, playing for Austin FC2 here. Gonna have to check on Burton, who is the goal scorer this evening.
So it might be dealing with just a little bit of blood there. Did see him go down. I don't know whether it was an inadvertent, maybe a little bit of nudge to the face when he was making his run, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like anything too serious. I'm sure he'll be right back out there.
The way this match started, felt like we might have a couple goals by now. Instead, still just the one. Austin hoping to bring a second trophy home. In the last couple of years, remember Austin just joined MLS Next Pro in the 2nd season of the league, so they won in their 1st season in MLS Next Pro, and now trying to add a Next Pro Invitational to the trophy case. Good work there by Padilla to keep that ball from Torre. Shake Torre has a little room here, sends across through. What a chance that was for Fadri.
Oh, that's a beautiful ball across the box here. Perfectly driven on the ground, right into that dangerous spot. Not sure if the Cancun defender was able to get a touch on it, but I think that's one that Fadri would like to have back. It's a great ball into the box there. Looked like Fadri had that first step on the defenders as well.
Fadri with 3 goals and 7 regular season appearances for Austin FC2 this year. He has scored against Houston, Colorado, and Salt Lake this season. Austin FC2 have certainly been a different side when he's been available to them this season. Diaz, and poked away from him by Ramirez.
And that's one there that you need to be a little bit more careful of if you're Austin. I think they had everything in place. They had their block in place, they had their lines in place, but Diaz Price is able to gather that ball and break his lines with his dribble. So just making sure you're able to get a little bit more numbers in there, because that's the last thing you want to do if you're in that defensive block. You don't want to let them easily break those lines. You want to make them play a little bit more wide. So just making sure he's not able to dribble and break your lines as easily. Don't give him those types of opportunities in front of the net. Ooh, looks like a bad tackle there.
Certainly did. Bonachera was down in a heap, and a yellow shown by William Hale.
As we get a look at it here, Bonachero doing the right things, trying to get his body in front of the ball. So ultimately gets off footage. You get another look at the cross here. It's a great ball in across. It does look like it took a little bit of a flick off of the Cancun defender. But anytime you're in those wide positions, if you're a winger and you have that type of space in front of you, play those hard balls in on the ground across the box, let your forward run onto it. You have to give credit to Cancun for making sure that the one didn't find the back of the net.
Fans, this portion of this broadcast is sponsored by World Wallet, official and exclusive debit card of Austin FC2. 10.5 minutes gone in the second half. A 1-0 advantage for Austin FC2 over Cancun FC. in the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational here at Palmer Field at St. David's Performance Center. Junior Morera settled by Padilla. Munoz has been active since halftime. Just joining Cancun a couple weeks ago on loan. Certainly an exciting player for them to have this season. Edgardo Marin. And now it is Rodriguez back for Marin. Padilla.
If you're Cancun, I think you need to be a little bit more patient in those situations. Austin dropping very deep defensively when they're able to get those numbers behind the ball. Just be patient. Keep the ball moving from side to side. Wait until you have those opportunities. Maybe you could break a line with a dribble. Maybe it's your forward checking in a little bit so you can break in between those lines and play the balls out wide. But if you're playing early crosses into the box like that, that's what Austin wants you to do. They want you to play the ball wide. They want you to put crosses into the box because they have the numbers. Just a little bit more patience if you're this Cancun team when you see Austin with that many people behind the ball.
You know, obviously the importance of this match is clear to everyone. And you want to have a trophy in your hands at the end of the night. Fodry to the middle for Burton. Now Farker-Lynn. Farker-Lynn, it is going to be a corner. Those three are uber dangerous and have been all night.
That's what we talked about, getting the ball moving from side to side. Farker-Lynn doing a good job here, but it starts out wide. See this ball comes across Burton. He has the opportunity to play the ball wide and create this 1v1 situation here. Does a great job putting it on his right preferred foot, but you have to give credit to Torrey, the defender there for Cancun, reading it all the way, knowing that he wants the ball on his right foot, forcing him that way, and able to help his goalkeeper out with a big-time block. But again, another dangerous set piece, but it comes off of the front three, moving that ball from side to side, creating those opportunities for their teammates.
CJ Fodry comes all the way through, settled there and put in! Spectacular goal! It is 2-0 for Austin off the foot of Alonso Ramirez.
And the music's blaring, you can hear it over the loudspeaker. Just an absolute golazo on this one. It's Fodry, the big target man, normally out wide, taking this corner kick, able to find Ramirez on this far post. Just a brilliant first touch. And only thing that's better than that first touch is the finish, just off of the half volley. Able to deal with the defender that he was on his back shoulder. Takes that first touch, gets it around the Cancun defender, and just an absolute brilliant half volley. You cannot hit a ball better than what we just saw Ramirez do off of the bounce like that. And you have to give Austin credit. They've been resilient defensively, bending but not breaking in the defense, and making the most of the opportunities that they are getting on these set pieces in front of goal.
I was on the verge of saying that service was overhit. It seemed like it was going to come all the way through untouched, and those were two consecutive touches, the first one and then the shot from Ramirez that, as you said, were almost better than world class.
And on the flip side, I think defensively, Cancun, that's a ball that you can clear out as well. But you have to give Ramirez a ton of credit, dealing with that type of pressure, defender down his back, able to take that first touch, regain that composure off that first touch and hit that side half volley. I thought it was interesting there that Fodry was a player taking the corner kicks because he's such a big target on these set pieces, but he ends up hitting his target. And that's two set pieces. I think Cancun's had the better opportunities throughout the run of play. We have to give Austin credit. They made the most of their set pieces. They have 2 goals to show for it. And now it's just all about doing what they can defensively to protect this lead and not letting the frustration of fouls like that get the best of you.
You know that had to be a special moment for Alonso Ramirez, who was born in Mexico, playing in this first ever competition between a Next Pro side and a Mexican club. And he has Austin up a pair of goals as we're past the 1 hour mark. So Cancun set to make its first subs of the night. Looks like it'll be 11 Mauro Perez and 15 Oscar Vila coming on for Cancun. So, cover your ears if you're an Austin fan, but, Jeff, in Austin's last regular season match in MLS Next Pro at Minnesota, they scored early in the second half to take a 2-0 advantage, conceded twice late to Minnesota, including the tying goal, actually on an own goal in the 90th minute. So you would have to think that one of the focuses over the last 9 days in training for Brett Utley was closing out a match, and his team now has the opportunity to do that in about a half-hour span here.
Well, sometimes the best thing for a team is to get put right back into that situation, especially when you're talking about, I'm sure a lot of the focus this week was just clamping down a little bit more defensively, not getting relaxed when you had that 2-0 lead. The saying is that the 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead that you have in soccer, because if the other team's able to get one, you drop a little bit more into that defensive shell. But I really think, especially coming out of halftime, Austin's done a good job of getting numbers behind the ball. They've learned a little bit of a lesson from last week. They're a little bit more sound in their defensive block. They're not taking as many risks in that possession like I talked about in the first half, where a lot of Cancun chances were coming off of risky possession in the back line. So it's a good learning lesson here for Austin, and with so much riding on this game, I'd expect to see them play a little bit more defensively, a little bit more careful, and just making sure that they have numbers behind the ball at all times.
You know, there's still tons of time left in this match, obviously, but based on the way Austin made its run to that championship last season, it might be fitting as Farkerlin has it on his foot again. Farkerlin to the middle. A good setup. Burton trying to get through, and Burton just missed. Would have been a brace for the young star.
Oh man, again, it's this side of the pitch. I'm not sure what's going on this side of the pitch. That's the second shot now that it looked like it had eyes for that far post. But Burton doing a brilliant job keeping the ball close to his foot with so many defenders around him. Has that opportunity to take that shot towards the far post and ultimately just sneaks a little bit wide, but very composed on the ball. Burton's been all game comfortable in these highly trafficked areas. As we get another look at it here, look at how close his touches are. He's keeping him close to his feet, and then he drives that ball to the far post, just barely misses. But it takes a special player who's able to do that in that type of pressure, surrounded by that many Cancun defenders, still able to create something and find that space for himself.
Fans, this portion of the broadcast is sponsored by Yeti, official and exclusive drinkware of Austin FC2. For Burton, a homegrown player, you'd have to think in this kind of environment, on this kind of stage, front office, first team reps in Austin really excited of the way this seems to have brought the best out of him.
Well, it's a big moment, and of course, you know, these players, they want to add another trophy to the mantle, but he's been up to it since the start of the whistle. He's been flying around defensively. He's been putting the work in, whether it's checking back from that center forward position to regain that possession in the midfield, making runs in behind, linking up with the other forwards, and he has a goal to show for it as well. But it's been a lot more for him tonight than just the goal. It's been a real bright spot for this Austin team.
Another free kick. Fadri got a touch on it, and it glanced the frame.
Oh, Austin, almost another one off of a set-piece opportunity. The second time on these set pieces that Fadri's able to find that space. On the first one, he plays the ball back across, gets the goal. This one, he tries to seek it out for himself. It's an open header, unfortunately, just a little bit high. But these set pieces have been big for Austin tonight.
Fadri again sends it to the middle. This will be another corner. You can see some frustration starting to set in for Cancun.
Well, Austin doing a good job of taking advantage of the moment. They see the frustration. They just keep putting these balls in behind. And again, it's Fadri. He's had his way on that left side tonight, just finding his space in behind the defender. I think he had the cutback on. There was a trail runner there if he wanted to play the ball a little bit more towards the top of the box. The cutback was there, but instead he opted to try to drive that hard ball across, and it would create another corner kick opportunity, which has been in Austin's favor so far all night.
Torre has been excellent with his services this evening. This one not really cleared well by Andrade, sent back in, but well wide.
Yeah, a little bit awkward there. It looked like off the set piece that ball might have been knuckling a little bit, which made it for the awkward clearance for the goalkeeper. But Cancun, fortunate that that rebound didn't fall a little bit closer to the goal, so Austin had a better opportunity.
This was about the point in the first half where things started to turn a little bit in terms of Cancun gaining more possession, creating more chances, never scored from it. We'll see if the same happens here in the second. Here's a big chance, and right on cue, it's Mauro Perez.
I was just about to say that that was really the first time, that was really the first build-up in this entire second half that Austin looked a little bit stretched defensively, and Cancun makes no mistake. They make Austin pay for it. They get themselves a little bit stretched out, which gives them the opportunity to put a service in where they have numbers inside the box. Rodriguez, smart play there from Rodriguez, sees the goalkeeper running out, calmly lays it back to Perez, who makes no mistake about it with the open goal. But I was just about to speak about it. Austin, they need to make sure that they don't get stretched out as they continue to seek that goal. Get those numbers behind the ball, try to protect that lead. Because a team like Cancun, how fast they are on the counterattack, they can make you play, they can make you pay.
Well, for Mauro Perez, who joined Cancun all of 17 days ago, that is a nice way to score your first goal with your new club.
Yeah, it's a brilliant job there by Rodriguez.
Here is Burton on the run again. Micah Burton waiting for support. Only sees gold jerseys around him, but draws the foul. Another free kick upcoming. Uskonga, the 33-year-old vet, seems unhappy with the whistle from William Hale.
And just a smart play there here from Burton. He's in a situation, there's 3 Cancun defenders around him. He really has no outlet ball. The ball looks like it's going out of bounds. He feels a little bit of a touch and hits the deck. Put the decision up to the ref. There was really not much more he could do there in that situation besides getting the ball get out of bounds. So good job feeling a little bit of contact, putting the decision in the ref's hands and drawing another dangerous set piece for his Austin side.
Ruben Bonachera was playing for Wisla Krakow in Poland before signing with Austin FC 2 in February. Bonachera. That big target, Fadri had the touch, but couldn't get much on it. And it'll be a goal kick for Andrade.
That's why I was so surprised that he was taking the corner kicks, because Fadri is such a big target.
First 2 subs of the night for Brett Utley. It'll be Jonathan Santillan, 14, and 77, Diego Abarca coming in for Austin. Sheikh Torre and Irvin Torres calling it a night. Santillan has appeared in just 4 matches this season for Austin and started 1. But Jeff, a couple years ago when he was playing in the USPL, scored 30 goals in the regular season to lead the league. And then Abarca in his regular season with Austin just signed actually on June 20th, the 19-year-old did. He's made 5 appearances. Was previously playing for the El Paso Locomotive of USL Championship. Back when he was with El Paso, he was 16 years old when he made his first team debut in 2022. Youngest player to ever debut with the El Paso first team. A late whistle, but the right one, clearly offside, Rodriguez. A 2-1 match, nearly 70 minutes crossed. So we just kind of talked about it, but Austin up 2-0 was in sort of the same situation as their last regular season match against Minnesota, and now really even more so conceding a goal.
Well, you could tell they were pressing. They were pressing and pressing to try to get that third one, which left them a little bit stretched and a little bit more vulnerable. I do think the substitutes that they just made there, look for them to play a little bit more defensively. Maybe they drop 5 in the back. Try to just protect the lead. Try to keep Cancun in front of you. Get your numbers behind the ball. Don't give up these dangerous opportunities.
Here is Rodriguez, just had the assist. Leading goal scorer for Cancun last season. Sets it up again, but it was sort of a bouncing ball on Uskanga, and he sent it straight in the air. And Cervantes handles.
And you're fine with that if you're Austin. Those are your opportunities that you want to give up. Crosses from awkward places on the field, anything, shots from distance, you live with that. You make the goalkeeper work a little bit, make sure he's able to make the save if it is a shot from distance. But it's really those balls in over the top that you want to try to avoid. And just make sure that you're sound defensively, you're keeping track of your runners for those crosses that come in the box, but just really strong play in the air, I think will be an important part of getting Austin through this one.
Fans, this portion of tonight's match is sponsored by St. David's Healthcare, official and exclusive healthcare partner of Austin FC2. So it looks like they're sort of using this as the hydro break.
Yeah, it seems a little bit disorganized, but I guess it was sufficient for everybody.
Justin Galanti, former MLS goalkeeper Jeff Ottenell, and our entire outstanding MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, bringing you the action from Palmer Field at St. David's Performance Center in Austin. This the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational, and it's Austin FC2 ahead 2-1 over Cancun FC. Barca with a fistful of jersey there. Eventually whistled for the fouls. He kind of grabbed onto Junior Morera. Rodriguez. Back the other way, it's Burton for Austin. Had Abarca making the run to his right. Not sure if he noticed. Now Abarca is on the ball. Louis Jean. Deflected ball comes into Andrade.
A couple different opportunities there. I think if they were able to play that quick ball, whether it was a switch of player, that quick ball in behind into the box. They had the runners, but now this is where Austin, they can't get too stretched. Get your numbers behind the ball, get that front three. They need to work back behind the ball right now so that they can get that block going a little bit better.
Here is Rodriguez. Jose Rodriguez back for Vila, sent into the middle, it's dangerous. Vila once again. And cleared away. A rifle, what a stop. Cervantes, his biggest moment of the night by far.
Oh, it was a hard strike from distance. And we just talked about it. You're okay giving up hard shots from distance. Your goalkeeper needs to be up to the task. He has a good angle, good strong dive. Makes no mistake about the rebound as well. Big time save there from the goalkeeper. But those are the opportunities. If you're Austin right now, you're fine giving up those opportunities. Let these guys shoot from distance. Make sure your goalkeeper's ready for it. It's those balls in behind that are going to be the trouble. But it's a good job there by Cervantes being up to the task.
Couldn't have hit it much better if you're Junior Morera. Does result in a corner here for Cancun. Searching for the equalizer. This one comes to the near post. Rodriguez sent back in, hit off Burton. A battle to it, and it will be a throw for Cancun.
If you're Cancun, play quick. Don't let Austin settle. It's a good job there on that quick throw. Get the ball down, play quick. Try to catch them sleeping a little bit as much as they can. Do everything you can to not let Austin get it settle down to that block.
Another corner. Uskanga once again. Uskanga, a good ball punched away by Cervantes and played up into the sky by Farkerlin.
Good job there from the goalkeeper dealing with that type of traffic. recognizes that the punch is his best option.
You better believe that the next 14, 15 plus stoppage time is going to be an absolute battle for Austin to try and keep one out of the net. A little extra after the whistle between Fadri and Oscar Vila, and Vila is shown a yellow.
Yeah, I think Oscar Vila might have got a little bit more body than he was hoping to on that slide tackle, but Fadri goes in on the slide challenge as well. You get another look at it here. Two players going for the ball. But yeah, just late. Very late there from Oscar Villa. Good call from the referee showing the yellow card. Fadri rightly upset about that tackle. Dangerous situation there. Lucky that nobody got worse off than it was.
Now Cancun feeling that there might be some stalling.
This is a cup final. This is where the gamesmanship comes into play a little bit. If you're Austin, waste a little bit of time every time you have a free kick opportunity.
William Hale just gave a point to his watch saying, I'm aware. Micah Burton, the throw for Austin.
We see here, taking their time, take their time to get on the throw in. Trying to keep this Cancun team pinned back, but again, always being aware of your defensive responsibilities as well in case the ball turns over.
Burton was fouled.
Man, he's done such a good job tonight. Just getting on the end of the balls, drawing these fouls, always finding the ball at his feet, keeping the closest touch to his feet, keeping the touches close to his feet, so he's able to draw that type of contact. Smart play tonight from Burton.
This is Bonachera. Bonachera, a low ball. Fadri trying to get a touch on it. Still in the area thanks to Abarca, and it's coming into Andrade. Trying to send it forward for Rodriguez. It'll be a throw for Cancun. Smart decision there by Louis Jean.
Yeah, we spoke about that in the first half. When the goalkeeper has the ball, being aware that he's going to play quick, try to put that ball in over the top. Austin has the right numbers back this time. Just put it out of harm's way and get that block set up.
For Austin, it was Micah Burton scoring in the 8th minute, and then Alonso Ramirez in the 59th. Cancun has the most recent goal in the match. It was in the 67th minute from Mauro Perez. See the banner from last year's championship for Austin. They're hoping to add to it tonight.
Oh man, Austin lucky not to get punished there. Goes to take the throw in, the ball slips out of his hands. Ends up at the feet of the Cancun attacker.
It was funny because you saw him drying off the ball with his jersey. You thought maybe that was a little bit of a time-wasting tactic, but maybe that was actually necessary.
Didn't do it enough.
Johan Alonso here. Starting his run forward, Alonso. Some dangerous passing on the back line there for Austin, but it's all handled well.
Good job by Cancun regaining that possession quick. You said it, a little bit of risky pass there. I don't know if those are the types of balls I'm playing with 10 minutes left in a tournament final, but they got away with it.
10 minutes in stoppage time remain. Remember last year, Austin's run to the championship was all about defense. In 4 playoff matches, 3 shutouts, 1 total goal allowed, and became the first team in MLS or MLS Next Pro history to win 4 road matches en route to a title. This one's at home, but they're trying to hold Cancun from one more goal for not that much more time. See, 14 there, Nico Van Rijn has come on for Austin. Just signed with Austin 13 days ago, July 14th. This is his first appearance with Austin. And a sub as well for Cancun here. It is Gael Rodriguez who has come on. Van Rijn was playing for Recreativo Granada in Spain before signing on with the defending MLS Next Pro Cup champions.
Great opportunity to make a good impression on your new team.
And no fear of putting someone new in there if you're Brett Utley. Good job to settle that ball down. Sent into the mixer. Rodriguez back to the middle, but Cervantes was ready. The thing that has stood out over the last year or so from Jose Rodriguez is his ability to score goals, right? 15 of them. Tonight, what stood out is his ability to create chances for his teammates. Already 1 assist. Here he is on the ball once again. Rodriguez, shot was blocked. Play still alive here for Cancun. Oscar Vila had it taken away. Well done by Farkerlin. Salvatore Mazzaferro for Alonso Ramirez, whose goal holds up as the winner at the moment.
Good composure here from Austin on the ball, making Cancun chase defensively.
It's all been very well done over the last few sequences. And again, guess who's down in the pitch drawing a foul and a card? It's Micah Burton.
Well, that feels like it's at least 10 times tonight, but he's been able to draw that contact and draw that foul. Just strong on the ball, whether the ball's in the air, the ball's on the ground. Just giving this defense for Cancun fits all night long, all over the pitch as well, whether it's in the box, center of the field, dropping back and helping a little bit on the defensive side, trying to get at the ball in a lower spot on the field. Just doing just about a little bit of everything for this Austin team tonight.
That was off the hand there, it appeared, of Ramirez.
Yeah, a little bit tricky, almost got away with it.
You think about all those playoff experiences that Austin got last season. This is the first time they're playing in a playoff type atmosphere, a championship match type atmosphere at home, right? That whole run last season was on the road, in Kansas City, in Tacoma, in Colorado, and in Columbus. For those that followed the league, you'll remember the moment of last year's opponent selection show prior to the playoffs, where in Next Pro you can pick your opponent, when Sporting KC2 head coach Benny Feilhaber was picking his opponent for the first round, picked Austin, and his quote was, "Scared money don't make money." Well, I don't know what to say about that, but Austin was the team that was hoisting the trophy at the end of the postseason.
Added a little bit of excitement to it, right? Maybe that was the type of motivation that Austin needed to go on that run.
I guess I'll put it this way. Nobody will be saying anything like that this year.
It fell out of my lap.
Just 5 minutes in stoppage time to go.
These last few minutes here, Austin doing a great job on the ball. Moving the ball side to side, not giving Cancun the opportunity to set up on the ball, get comfortable on the ball. Just making him chase and defend, which is the last thing you want to do when you're down 1 goal this late in the match.
Cervantes being pressured there by Perez. Looks like Anthony Deonda's about to come on for Austin at the next window. Remember that save from Cervantes on Morera just about 10 minutes ago. That might be the biggest moment of the match if Austin can hold on. Does Cancun have a couple more pushes left in them to try and find a tying goal? Over the top, it's Rodriguez. Offside.
A little bit of a nervy moment there, waiting for the flag to go up. Rodriguez, he's had his joy getting in behind this back line a few times tonight, but a good job there by Austin, making sure that the entire back line's in sync, has the same line, letting him run off sides. Took a little while to get that call, though.
So Deonda comes on for Farkerlin. Deonda, a 19-year-old from the Austin Academy. A well-deserved round of applause for Farkerlin, who was impactful as always this evening.
They did a great job getting up and down this right side, putting dangerous crosses into the box, 1v1 situations. But now if you're a substitute coming in this game, it's all about using your energy offensively, defensively. We need to see him buzzing, making sure his outside backs aren't stuck in 1v1 situations, always there to help. Really just ramp up a little bit of energy, especially in his defensive work here in the last few minutes.
Looks like that ball kid was certainly knowledgeable of what Austin would have wanted him to do there, just kind of laid that ball down.
Hey, listen, that's the advantage of playing at home. A little bit of gamesmanship from everybody. See if Cancun, what they're able to do is they're able to draw another set piece in a dangerous spot.
Free kick here. Bonachera committed the foul. 2 minutes and stoppage time to go in this 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational. Jose Rodriguez. Numbers come forward. It's sent into the area. There's a lot of contact, but it's a play on.
Well, if you're defensively for Austin, you have to get a little bit closer to the serve of the ball. You can't let somebody put in a free cross and have the time to pick their head up.
Morera, this one's blocked. And Fadri has it on the run. And CJ Fadri ended up down. No whistle on this end either. And now one does blow. And I think it's to bring the training staff on to check on CJ Fadri. Not sure there's a foul here.
So he might be dealing with a little bit of something. I think it'll be Cancun's ball here on the restart, but back to my point on that cross, there was some contact in the box. You need to be careful if you're Austin, of course, in and around the box, knowing that Cancun's going to do anything, whether it's to try to draw a foul, draw a penalty kick at this stage in the game, but you cannot let that free cross get off so easily. A player shouldn't have their time to put their head down, take that touch, cross that ball in, especially at this stage of the game. As we get another look at the replay of the goals here, and Burton, he's been all over the field tonight. It's been these two set pieces for Austin. Both of them have been just brilliant individual efforts, whether it's putting the ball in a cross for Burton to run onto it. On this one, Ramirez able to bring the ball down, put it on the half volley. But you have to give Cancun credit. They were able to respond. Dangerous situation for themselves. Cross comes in. Ramirez doing a great job. Look at Rodriguez, my apologies, but a great job with the patience, able to draw that ball back, find the open runner, make this game a little bit more interesting as we're getting into stoppage time.
Brett Utley will make another sub here. Christopher Garcia will make just his third appearance in an Austin uniform. Garcia spending the season with Austin FC2 on loan from El Paso Locomotive of the USL Championship. 6 minutes of added time.
Christopher Garcia, number 11, for CJ Fadri,
So a lot of fresh legs on the pitch on both sides now. We'll see if Cancun can find an equalizer in stoppage time, or else Austin will be hoisting another trophy. Walter Ortega sent in, and no one there for it. Here is Villa. Now Rodriguez, kept away from him by Van Rijn. Certainly think if Austin can hold on and win here based on the way they've played tonight and the last couple weeks coming in, Jeff, this could certainly be something that buoys them to a very successful finish to the regular season.
Yeah, there's still time in this one. There's a dangerous set piece here, but definitely a result that Austin could take some confidence was if it does hold at the score line. But there, a little bit of mistake in the back leading to this corner kick. Still plenty of time for Cancun with how much stoppage time there is.
Rodriguez, a lot of pace on this ball, but it was handled well.
I was surprised they had the goalkeeper up so early.
Sent into the area once again. Abarca running after it for Austin, able to play it forward. And this will be a throw for Austin.
You don't often see the goalkeeper coming up with 4 minutes left in the game, but you tell Cancun pressing, really trying to go for it. Now if you're Austin, just being smart with the ball, maybe try to put the ball into the corner. Do everything you can, whether it's make Cancun chase defensively, put the ball in the corner so you can get those numbers behind the box. Just really try to defend with your life here if you're Austin in these last 3 minutes.
Deonda clipped Rodriguez a bit, and Austin was hoping Andrade was enough off his line that there might be an opening there.
Maybe could have brought the ball down for possession, but I don't mind it. Get the numbers behind the ball. Make it difficult to break down. Make your team difficult to break down right now if you're Austin.
Gael Rodriguez. There's time, but not much for Cancun. Morera. Sent into the area, some contacts, but we play on. It'll take more than that at a juncture like this. There's Christopher Garcia. Louis Jean, good challenge there, but kept alive by Deonda.
Well done there by Deonda, recognizing the danger of the moment. Just does everything he can to get a foot on it.
Galindo. Rodriguez runs under it. Rodriguez goes down. Flag was up. He was offside.
Oh, that one looked close. That one looked close in live action. Rodriguez again finding that space in behind. Ultimately, he ends up being offsides as we get another look at it here. And it's a direct ball over the top off of that flick. If he's offsides, it's just by a step. But if you're Gomez, you have to do a better job of being aware, not getting trapped into that long ball, tracking the ball. Be aware of where your runner is. Fortunate that Rodriguez was just a slight bit offsides there. But numbers behind the ball, making sure that the direct balls aren't going to beat you over the top.
If you're an Austin fan, your heart has to be well in your throat by this moment. There'll be a goal kick coming for Andrade. Maybe less than a minute now for Cancun to work with. They've been searching for a tying goal since the 67th minute, yet to find it. A race to this ball. Cross All the way through, Rodriguez won't get there. A goal kick for Cervantes now. And you can start to sense it if you're an Austin supporter. Aaron Cervantes had one monster save in this second half. And his team might be seconds away from another trophy. We play on, maybe one more action up the pitch for Cancun. Played away from trouble. It's cleared, and there is full time. Another trophy is coming to Austin. Austin FC 2 win the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational 2-1 over Cancun FC.
A well-played game from both sides, and just a great moment here for Austin FC and as well as the entire league of MLS. Winning this inaugural tournament, and you have to give Austin credit. They started the game off brightly. They made the most of their set-piece opportunities, and at the end of the day, they were able to keep that lead, ride that lead out, and do everything that they could defensively to make sure they didn't give up that next goal here for Cancun. Cancun feeling a little bit frustrated with the referees. I'm not sure if it was because of the offsides call, but you just have to give credit to Austin for this one. They brought the energy. They were able to gut it out. They did what it takes, and now they're going to be lifting a trophy at the end of the night.
And more than anything else, I mean, a big moment for Austin, obviously, but what a successful 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational this has been. As we now take a look at tonight's Man of the Match, presented by Adidas. And who else could it be? With the game-winning goal in the 59th minute, it is Alonso Ramirez.
Well, we spoke about him in the open and knowing that he was going to have a big part in this game, and did he ever. Look at this brilliant first touch, able to come across on the side volley, but it wasn't just the goal that made his night. It was the work defensively, the way that he was able to connect the back line to the forwards, dangerous balls in behind, putting out a lot of fires on defense, and he's rewarded with the game-winning goal, and ultimately the goal that is going to win his club another trophy. You have to give the captain credit for the efforts that he put in tonight. And you spoke about it. This is the type of result that could propel this Austin team for the second half of their season. But just a great night all around for this inaugural Invitational. It was a fair-played match. Two good teams going at it, putting everything on the line. And that's exactly what you want to see out of games like this and moments like this. So credit to both of these teams for showing up tonight and giving us a good show and putting forth the type of effort that they did.
So 2-1 is the full-time score. And unlike last year when they won the MLS Next Pro Cup, Austin FC 2 get to celebrate in front of their home fans. The scoring started early. It was Micah Burton in the 8th minute.
Well, Fadji was a problem all night long on these set pieces, and on this one he's able to rise up over that Cancun back line, play the ball across to Burton, who had himself an absolute night. We just saw this one, ultimately the game winner. This one made it 2-0, and at this point we thought that Austin might have the opportunity to run away with it, but you have to give Cancun credit. They fought all the way back. As we look at the time and the patience that Rodriguez has in the box here, brings it down, able to slip it back to Perez, who makes absolutely no doubt about it, and that made the scoreline here 2-1. But again, you have to give Austin credit for the way that they were able to buckle down defensively. Cervantes, he had a big save there late in that one as well on a strongly hit ball from distance. But the goalkeeper did everything he could, and he was up to the task in the second half to make sure that this 2-1 victory rode out for Austin. But again, you just have to speak on, for an inaugural game, for an inaugural thing that the MLS and the Mexican League are doing, this was just a brilliant moment. Both teams win at it. Both teams put on a show. And that's exactly what you expect anytime there's a championship on the line, when you have two champions going toe-to-toe. So credit to both of these teams, and congratulations to Austin for winning this one.
And you certainly hope tonight was the start of a long relationship between MLS Next Pro and Liga Expansión. And hopefully, year in, year out, we'll be doing this with the champions of each league playing each other, with an opportunity to hoist a trophy and get yourself one of those billboards.
Well, it's just a moment in history, right? You always go down as the first team to ever win this competition. So you get the picture, you get the trophy, and you get to celebrate a little bit more than you would something that happens in the regular season. But I really thought Austin, their league play, it hasn't been up to their standard. I really thought they brought the energy tonight, and you talk about what this means for this team going forward. Anytime you're able to win a trophy, it's going to radiate through the locker room and give that team confidence. So a lot of credit to this Austin team tonight.
Miguel Ángel Díaz García, Liga Expansión MX Director, to present the trophy to the MVP of the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational, Micah Burton.
So Micah Burton is awarded the MVP of this MLS Next Pro Invitational. Had the first goal tonight, and as you said, Jeff, was just excellent from start to finish.
Yeah, he was really a difference maker for this Austin team. Whether he was dropping in to receive the ball in those dangerous spots, drawing foul after foul, able to regain that possession, and really brought the energy to this group tonight.
And now let's listen in for the moment that everybody that puts on a soccer jersey dreams of, and that's getting to hoist a trophy with your teammates.
Next Pro Invitational Champions, Austin FC 2.
What a great night this was in Austin for our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew and my partner Jeff Ottanella. I'm Justin Galanti. Once again, our final Austin 2 and Cancun 1. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. So long from Austin, and congratulations to Austin FC 2.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.